Hello, everybody, and welcome to our less than 24-hour from Game 1 playoff edition of Rip City Reverberations. I'm Michael,
I'm John.
and we're going to talk about tomorrow's matchup. Number 2, San Antonio
Real
Spurs,
basketball.
the number 7, Portland Trailblazers. Can't believe we're in the playoffs. It is going to be an intense series, I think. No matter how it goes, it's going to be. Wemby's hungry. Their team is so good, and everybody on Portland is super confident and thinks that we haven't been able to show what the team's all about with all the injuries this year, and we're healthy for the first time. Knock on wood.
Yes, knock on
And
wood.
I think they really have something to prove out there, which I think that they have a better chance than most people are giving them credit for.
We have got a ton of run from everybody watching that play-in game for some reason, and the love on Denny was ridiculous.
Oh,
Everybody was just
I
like,
mean, 2 such competitive games in a row. It was
"Yeah,
some of the most entertaining basketball that anybody's watched in a while.
yep, it's it." I'm excited. I love that we have the confidence. I think that we have a full squad, and we haven't had that basically all year. We haven't had it all year. We have not had. This is the first time we've had a full squad. Somebody has always been hurt at some point. I think even a couple weeks ago they had a game, and I think we only had one person on the on the injured list outside of Dame, who's technically on the injured list.
Yeah.
So yeah, having them, they're going to have to play. They can't have let ups. They cannot
Yeah,
let up
the
anywhere in
margin
that.
for error is extremely narrow.
Yeah, if they have let ups, they can only do it on one end of the floor at a time. You know, you have to either match them shot for shot, and if you're not hitting your shot, you better shut them down, and they better not score on you. Means
Yeah.
you got to stay defensively. You got to get stops.
But
Um,
that's gonna
and
be one of the more interesting things. It's like we're the best offensive rebounding team in the league, and they're the best defensive rebounding team in the league. So which of those wins out?
that is that's huge. And I mean,
I think that we have an
yeah,
advantage there because we have more size. Overall, we have more. Our wings are bigger than their wings. Um,
yeah,
Klingon is not taller than Wemby, but man, he's got 100 pounds on him.
yeah. But Wemby's got reach. That is the other thing. Is I mean, he's also more mobile than Klingon. Klingon takes up a lot of space, and he gathers stuff up, and he's gotten even better this season over the season or throughout this season of getting like tips and actually like going over people and not fouling and
Yeah,
going up and jumping, and it's like, yeah, dude, you're becoming how you should play. Obviously your age and just experience in the league, but I don't want to get ahead of us, but yeah, thinking next year he's going to only improve again, and you're already setting up monster numbers. It's not like that. Your height ain't going to change. You're only going to get more mobile, hopefully, which I would assume he is because of his work ethic and how he approaches it. But he's going to be, yeah, he's going to be a bigger monster next year and a bigger problem,
definitely.
which is
One
nice to
thing
have.
though, there's so many little wrinkles in this, so many San Antonio ties on our team. Like, um, specifically in regards to Klingon, his ties with Stephen Castle, both being from UConn, both of them having
I forgot about that.
double championship pedigrees. I
Yeah.
think that for Klingon, it's a huge confidence booster to have that in his past. Um,
Oh yeah, the dude's a dude. Yeah, multi-time
and
winner.
I think that the possibilities of him getting to his best game, um, shooting it well, and you know
Yeah.
taking as much off of Wemby as Wemby's dishing out. I think that Wemby's going to have the mobility advantage, but if they end up guarding each other, he's gonna get worn down by Donovan's size.
I haven't looked into that enough. I don't know how much Donovan. If he ends up guarding, if Wemby's on defense, the advantage of him is his length. He doesn't have to pound. He can just sit back and wait, and then gadget arm. Oh, I can get that block or
Right,
get it
but
out of his hand.
what if as a team, Portland says, "Whoever is getting guarded by Wemby, your job is to put a body on him at all times. Always be
Yeah,
leaning on him, always be,
body
engaging
him up.
him physically."
Yeah, I mean, we touched on that I think last time a little bit of just like go at him, make him have to play defense.
Well, I
Because
think
either
that's
you foul him
the only
out.
chance that you have is you have to go directly at him and engage his body so that he can't, like, set up and use his length against you.
Yeah, or we also talked of how, yeah, we talked on the if you're going to attack him, somebody's got to be slashing when you draw him to you that you can drop it in a way that out he's too much out of position that he can't recover. I mean, he can obviously he can cover the key pretty well in one step. It's not hard for him to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
whole 'nother layer to that as you're attacking. If you can think of, okay, first off, what is my angle of attack through the defense? And then at what way can I engage Wemby's body in a way that I can get him out of the scorer's ability to then receive the ball and put it in? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, attack and
Yep.
you're engaging Wemby right at the basket so that he can't then go and block the actual shooter.
I haven't looked at that enough and how other teams do. I would look at it if you're gonna if you're coming across, if you're attacking across the lane and he's coming to you, you're going from say, you know, the middle of the key to the opposite side block. You're trying to get a shot there to have somebody fill in. So if you go up or pump fake somehow that he is there playing D on you, you can drop it to the other side and he doesn't have time to react that they can score that bucket. Or somebody's slashing and they're already in the air. He can block shots obviously, but Tamani Sharp, um, even if you put CD out there, even Klingon, somebody rolling down the lane after you to fill that gap, and that space, they've got to rotate. And if even if they do get it, they catch it in the middle, then that rotation comes. Whoever came over to help out, they rotate to help that cutter. Now you got somebody on the far wing, and you got the skip
Right.
pass or you got the kick out, and that's a three. And we got to hit threes. That's another thing. Um, I think you touched on that somewhere, and um, we got to hit threes. That
Yeah, we need to be
stats show that we
we
hit threes, we do well.
yeah,
Clearly,
well, I mean, we have to, because if we're not hitting threes, then they're just gonna pack the paint and dare us to
yeah,
shoot over them, and we'll have a bunch of bricks, and so we have to have a good shooting night from the people that can do that. I think
yeah.
Donovan might be in store for giving people a surprise. I think that
Well, he
he
can.
potentially could have a good night from there.
Yeah.
It
If he hits a couple, it all depends on how they defend that. Do they just live with it, or do they pull Wemby out? Because I mean, Wemby's not a. I think we do have the advantage there size wise. We could go, bigs, two bigs. They both can shoot. Rob's not he's not as much of a liability on the outside as well because I think they said he leads the league in blocks at the 3-point line. Uh,
yeah. I
you
don't think
got
they're
you.
gonna do that, though, because then you're not bringing Young into this game. So, if you're using both Rob and Donovan at the same time, then that, you're who's
Who's backing up
bringing
who?
who?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be very. I would say, yeah. You obviously at that point you'd have to use it just very strategic. Like, hey, let's go big for a moment. They want to put their size. Let's see what they can do here. You're going to control the game, offensive or rebounding at that point. You'd think, but
I mean,
I don't
they
know.
could
I
match
think
up with that too. They could do Wemby and Cornette on the floor at the same time.
that's true. Um, does we haven't go that way if we're looking strategy wise. I was thinking the other part of that we need to rebound as a team. Like you said, put a body on Wemby and everybody crash. And at that point, if I don't, the San Antonio run, they want to run too. Um,
Not as much as we do.
yeah, we could push them. That's what I think we touched that too. Of you get Wemby somewhat tired. He's gonna, he's as good as he is. Everybody's gonna get tired, and the bigger body is gonna be probably more tired. Although he's a little bit of a freak in that aspect too. So,
Yeah.
at that point, they're deep as well. Use our bench. Let City
Well,
go in there and
I
just.
mean, does he have an unspoken, minutes restriction because of his hurt rib?
I bet all that stuff's off. This is a playoffs.
Yeah, but
I
your
don't know.
rib is so important for breathing and shit like that, and
If you're going at him, create contact, not to hurt anybody, but yeah, make this like just be aggressive.
well, I mean,
We
that's
got
part of
guys that
why
can.
I was saying everybody needs to, like, physically put some pressure on him, and
Yeah,
once not being dirty, just put a body on him, impede
Scott
his
Brooks.
progress in whatever direction that he wants to go, make him spend more energy getting around you. Um, you wanna wear him out. But the other
Yeah,
thing is their guards are so good that I mean, if De'Aaron Fox has a great night shooting threes, we're cooked, man.
he. I don't. They have to play. Like I said, they can't let up. You got to put. I think like what we did against Phoenix, we locked some stuff down. Or actually, it was the Clippers. The Clippers where we locked down Kawhi and we stopped them from doing what they do. It seemed. We're not perfect by any means, but it's like we can do it. We know the level. That's like we said a couple, episodes ago of just, hey, um, this is the bar now. You've got to play at that level all the time. We don't go backwards now. Um, if we got to go deeper in the bench, those guys are. I'm gonna say they're more ready than you would ever think that somebody deep in the bench is. For most teams, it's not like CD didn't see the floor much, right? He didn't really see the floor at all. Um,
In
so
Phoenix?
it's like, yeah, yeah,
No,
Phoenix.
not at
So
all.
it's like, dude, you can play. So put him on the floor. You should. It's 6 fouls at worst, and it's an aggressive guy who is every time he's on the floor, he brings energy, and it's you got to account for him because he's going to get a rebound or get a tip or do something. You know, Even on offensive glass, it's like you gotta watch for him, and they got to play at that level. You got to shift that. You got to shift them from being, hey, we're going to play what we play to be like, oh, we need to adjust to how they're playing. Also, we got to,
I hope that
consider.
Tiago feels the same way.
That'd be good. He should. I mean, I think.
Well, yeah, but, since when do you I mean, name the last time that a NBA coach went into the playoffs and increased their rotation. It's always the opposite. They always
Just don't.
shorten it.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. Which I don't get it. I
Yeah.
don't get
They
it.
stop
We.
playing players they don't trust is what it comes down to. If they trust you, they'll put you on the floor. If they don't trust you, then
Yeah, and that the thing with that is if they may feel they don't trust them or they don't want to trust them is almost what it is. And then something happens and you got to put them on the floor. And then they're like, oh, let's go. And then that guy gets to start the next, or, gets to play the next game more. And it's like, just do what you do. We play this way. We played this way all year of everybody had to adapt and just leave it at that. Let the team having the depth, you just have more choices.
yeah,
Run it. And yes, I think that filters into how we think of we want a team that's got the salvo capability of just here. What kind of team do we want to put out there? Oh, shift gears. Let's drop, hey, let's go speed. Let's go D. Let's run let's just pressure them the entire length of the floor. That team's on the floor. Okay, no, we need to go, half court, let's go half court offense. Poof. All right, we need offense. We need firepower. Put all those people on the floor, or mix them or however. And again, run 4 minutes hard, get out, next group, see what they do. We have a second five that can be basically, three quarters or, three quarters of a starting five. You cause problems for other teams. They have to play up to that. We have some players that I think you probably in that boat. These guys can start. They can start. They just haven't been consistent, but they're capable of it, or they have started because we didn't have any other options. So
yeah.
it's just, yeah, first tier, 1A, 1B, and going against their 2A. It's like, do it. You got to do that.
I
Yeah.
think another key to this whole series is going to be, are we going to be able to draw fouls? Like San Antonio is one of the least fouling teams out there, so
We got a foul
will we
hunter. We
still
got a
have
guy who
success
hunts.
if we don't get to the free throw line? Probably not.
Yeah, we will. I think Denny is going to challenge that. He's going to have to adjust because of Wemby. Um, or you got to pull Wemby out of there somehow so he can get just a clear out one, one on one. I hopefully they figure that out. It's like how do you run the offense because there's so much in the league of just ISO, up at the top and attack or on a wing and attack. Wemby's going to cut that. I don't know that maybe that fits into it. We want hey go one on one and have him rotate and then have Shaden slash down the lane and catch a lob, or slash down lane and catch a pass in the middle and finish, or skip it. The defense rotates because they have to, and you get motion on that backside. Skip it. The guy coming up from the corner to a wing extended. Skip it. Hit a three. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. We need to be able to get to the hoop because that it's free money. It's buckets easy without you get a rest too.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah.
hopefully the refs are calling things that way that we can get some calls.
I want to make a gambling comment on something about that, but just because it's just
Out of
the
respect for our homie Chauncey Billups,
I didn't even think of that. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
there's one for our homies.
Oh yes, I got that. Woo woo choo choo Rip City baby.
We're not even sponsored by them.
No, that's
You
just yeah.
free advertising. Um,
Uh,
anyways, I think we're going to keep this one short, but yeah, I think tomorrow there is a it's going to be interesting. There is a chance. I think that
yeah,
we can hang with them. I know that we're all fired up,
yeah.
and
It's gonna be uh any way we go. I'm this is thinking the whole first home game here is gonna be off the chain.
yeah,
That's gonna be absolute hype. I was surprised I got like a blip and a guy at work, the guy I talked to earlier today, you about he's trying to go to the game. Somebody else wants to go to the game with him, and I was just like, you got to get tickets. And I looked, and there's some resellers, but there's some still available, and they're not ridiculously priced. Lower levels gets a little crazy, but you upper levels are like $200 already.
right,
You know, and that's 300 level. Um, Anything low, there was a couple seats. I saw one down. I think they were like 9 rows from the court, and that's behind the bench, but they were upwards of 2 grand a piece. And I was like, "Whew, that's getting some, that's getting that's getting expensive for the freaking first round playoffs, game three at that."
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it's too much.
yeah. I could watch it on a fairly large screen and sit really close, and it feels like we're there, right?
No,
But
it's fine.
yeah, it's free. It's free overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we keep it short. Um,
What is your
give your views.
prediction for
Yeah.
tomorrow?
I, I don't know. I want to say yeah. Obviously, I want Portland to win. I think it's probably the normal analogy. I want to keep it close the whole game, and I want it to come down the last 3-4 minutes of who's going to execute. Um, and I think if we get that minimally, either you have that chance to win it, or you're also going to put a scare in them to be like, all right, they're real. Um, I think we have to prove it just because of record wise. I think we can win it. I think people underestimate us, and we got to play great. We know what we know our weakness is, whether it's ball handling or turnovers. The turnovers will fucking kill us instantly.
Yeah,
And as long as they can take care of the ball and execute, um, yeah, they got to just play up to that. I don't know if I want. First impressions, I think Portland loses by single digits, low single digits. I want to win. I want them to be in that, and then it's almost like a you're close. It can go either way, and then that the one thing happens, and that could go our way, which I would be ecstatic. I think we can steal one of the first two. That I do agree. I know I'm jumping a game ahead, but I think we can get one of the first two, and then come back home, and yeah, at that point it's on. So,
Yep.
what is your take on that?
I think I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that having Drew Holiday and Rob
Uh,
Williams and Jeremy Grant and Tiago Splitter and all these different connections back to San Antonio. So, like,
that's true.
Tiago was a
Forgot
player
Tiago.
there and didn't get a coaching offer there.
A little motivation,
Used to be a Spur, and Blake
Wesley.
used to be a Spur, and Donovan and Steph Castle have the Yukon connection. Uh, I don't know. I think there's a lot of behind the scenes motivations, and I think that our vet leadership might be the edge in that. I also think that
Yeah.
Denny has his ass on fire to prove to the world that
So,
he deserves all the credit that he's gotten this year, and to be, you know, it's like only two other people were doing his kind of stats this year. It was Luka Doncic and Jokic, and that's pretty damn good
that's true.
company. And
So,
comparing all three of them, Denny is the most athletic, most aggressive of the three of them.
oh,
Both
by
of the
far.
other ones have like the herky jerky, awkward timing thing that gets people off balance. And Denny, I mean, Denny does that when he does his slow down Euro crossover,
Two, two.
um, but generally, he's just overwhelming people with his athleticism and his quickness.
Yeah. So that would lean if I put those into my thought process, I will go to this will turn similar to how Phoenix game went, where we kind of got down, and that's what I want to see is I want to see that fight at the end of like if it goes our way, it's like cool, you get that little break. Obviously, Denny was the one that helped us get us there, but you had those things fall into place. And I think that would be great because that pulls on all of the what you just said. That would reinforce those things coming to surface and being able to um, I forgot about Drew. I mean, yeah, he is a factor, and you got people pointing that out. It's like this dude's got he goes somewhere, championship. I'm not saying we get a championship this year. If we get there, I'm going to celebrate the hell out of it. But you get somebody that has that experience, and it's just look. And again, they this is their time. He knows exactly what to do, and he knows it better than the other team. The other team's going to just do it off of execution and
He's just such a
talent.
stabilizing influence when he's out there. He rarely
Yeah,
has boneheaded plays, or and even when he makes mistakes, he usually makes up for it on the next play.
yeah. I think we know it made that note last time too, and he does. There that's almost like yeah, he gets pissed off that he made a mistake and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a steal here,"
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So,
No, it's
yeah, that has me more excited.
he's pissed off that he makes a mistake, and he's like, "I'm going to fix that and balance the scales back right now."
Yeah, three, boom, and um,
So
yeah, let's
I
go for
think
this.
that they have a chance tomorrow to win it. It still
Yep,
depends on all the stuff that we were talking about. Lots got to go right. We have to minimize our errors and our boneheaded mistakes, and but all the motivation's there, all the veteran leadership is there, the
I,
depth of the team is there. Uh,
and I think you need to look somebody, and I wish I had that stat. They've talked about how well we've played in the last 15 games.
yeah,
I think they
I mean
say that
it was against trash competition, but still,
to
we have
you
been we have been playing well lately.
yeah, from who we and I'll put this out there. We've this season on one hand at most games that we like kind of stop playing. Every other game we have
No,
constantly
that's
fought to
that's
be
not a trait of this team. They
yeah,
don't
they don't quit.
no.
They
That,
will fight
that's a
even
great
if we're
quality.
down too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget about that. That man, that's why, like, I don't know. Even the Phoenix game, I think we were watching that kind of going like, some bitch, these guys are gonna win it. You got that vibe. There was never a vibe of like they're gonna mess this up in this last point.
Yeah, but
It didn't exist.
I didn't want to say it until the very end because I was the whole time wishing that we did blow it and we didn't make the playoffs and we
Uh,
got a draft pick, but
yep.
that's not what happened. So
Nope. There, and I think I could feel it watching it where there's that like this is getting to a point that we can't hide this. It's like I'm happy now that we're winning, and it's like let's go because that's the natural feeling. But there was that like we want the pick because that can help the team in the long term. And then it's like, oh, they're gonna win this. It's like that feeling's like I gotta feel, I lose the pick, and that kind of hit that sucks. But hell yeah, they just freaking came back and won this thing, and it's proud of how they played and came back and just fought. I think when Jeremy hit the second three was like, oh yeah, this is
right.
changed. Where if we're still down, it's just like doesn't matter. It's on now. So
He is going to be a key factor in this series. If he's
yeah,
hitting threes like that and he's
yep,
making an impact on defense,
yep,
that's going to be tremendous.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited. All I know that yeah, I'm excited now. We gotta wait. What?
Less than
Almost
24 hours, less than 20
yeah,
hours. What time is it?
21, 11 o'clock
Oh, damn. Yeah.
West Coast time.
So, yeah,
Uh,
19 hours away.
bring it,
Well,
bring it.
anyways, our last episode's got more watches than anything we put out yet. So thank you all for
Thank you.
watching.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Um, we really appreciate it, and we look forward to giving you our thoughts on the Blazers going forward.
we'll touch in before game two.
Yeah, I
So we
think
probably touch
we'll
Monday. We'll
try
probably try to
to
get
do one before every game or after.
yeah,
What or do one for every game, hopefully.
yeah.
But anyways,
That
thank you
works.
all.
Thank you. And as always, go
Go Blazers.
Blazers. Yeah, let's do this.